The inaugural recipient of that award was her nephew, Governor Andy Beshear. Governor Beshear was very important, not only in being a huge supporter of education, but also during COVID, Kentucky became one of the few states and first states to appoint a student and a teacher to the State Board of Education. So imagine the impact that that had when policy people are making decisions about your jobs, having both a student at the table and a teacher at the table representing our collective voices. And so Sonia Messman was his first student, and then Allison Sloan was the first teacher ever on the state board. So those were our inaugural recipients. In year 2, we gave it to the Thompson Scholar Program. That was with Dr. Aaron Thompson with post-secondary education. Last year, we welcomed Commissioner Glass and Deputy Commissioner White as our 3rd annual. And then this year, we're excited to welcome back to help present the award. Ed Miller is here, which is Mary Ann's husband, along with Governor Andy Beshear.
Thank you. Thank you. These are my public educators. Good morning, everyone, and thank you to Jamie, Mimi, and everyone here that made today possible. Today is a good day. Today we're celebrating and supporting public education in the Commonwealth of Kentucky. I have always led an education-first administration. That is having your back when I went to court and protected the retirement of every single public educator as Attorney General. It's every budget that I have submitted and fought for raises for every single public educator. And it's this November when we're going to defeat Amendment number 2 so that public dollars only go to public education. And then after November, it is back to working day in and day out to get more dollars to support our public schools. It's the push to provide universal pre-K in every single school district across Kentucky. And I'll clap for that. And to continually do better for our students. Folks, we need you now more than ever because Kentucky is in an exciting place at an exciting time. We're on the biggest, best economic development roll in our history. We've had over 1,000 new location and expansion projects since I became governor. Over $32 billion of private sector investment in you, in us, in Kentucky. That is a record for any governor, 1 term or 2 terms. And I call my dad and tell him that every single night. 53,000 new jobs. We've broken the record for exports. We've broken the record for tourism. And when good things are happening, we start seeing progress in other areas. Our recidivism is at a 3-year average low. That means we're living out our faith and values of second chances and putting families back together. And we're one of the only states that now has 2 straight years of decreases in drug overdose deaths. You all are a big part of that, as are so many others. So right now, more potential in front of us, more people talking positively about Kentucky, more opportunity to be at the top of all the lists we've wanted to be, more companies calling us first that used to claim they didn't have our number. But we know to sustain that requires significant investment in public education, continued investment in you. It requires a workforce that is educated and, yes, is healthy enough to take on these jobs of the future. And our educators who are here today, you promote both of those really important goals. Both education, where we should be pushing for everybody to get that next level of attainment, as well as health. I've always believed that healthcare is a basic human right. And by getting our kids, our future, on a healthy track to grow up to be healthy adults, what you all do for our economy, but more importantly, for the quality of life for our people is so amazing. And I always try to remember that in the end, I love hearing about these numbers of jobs or the different rankings that we have. But our legacy, our collective legacy, are the families that we help. How much better we make life for people in the Commonwealth. And I know you know that because you have dedicated your life to doing this work, to helping our families and to building a better Commonwealth. So for that, I am grateful. And we have today some all-stars with us. Everybody here are all-stars, but I got a chance to meet two people in attendance today who are great examples of why what you do is so important. We have 3 SHAPE Teachers of the Year here with us this year. Two are from Kentucky, Casey Page and Kara Young. We also have a Teacher of the Year from Illinois, and I will forgive your travel baseball team for beating my son yesterday afternoon, but we are grateful of public educators all around the United States. Let's give them a big round of applause for their amazing work. Today's event is particularly special to me and to my uncle Ed, not just as your governor, not just as a parent of 2 public school students, but because it carries on the legacy of my late Aunt Mary Ann Miller, who we lost far too soon and far too early. She worked tirelessly for over 30 years at the Kentucky Department of Education, where she was a passionate advocate for our students. And it's no mistake that KDE has one of the longest running federally funded Centers for Disease Control and Prevention's Healthy Schools teams. That is what Mary Ann worked to tirelessly achieve. For those that didn't know her, she was a force of nature. She, when she had a goal in front of her, there was nothing she wouldn't do, and there was no one that she wouldn't talk to make sure that it happened. I can tell you as governor, my dad went to certain events and certain award ceremonies every single year because Mary Ann called and would have called him again if he hadn't shown up. For me, it's been the same. This is somebody who was around me since the day I was born. A day-to-day part of my life, part of who I am, part of why I value public education, and part of why I hold my kids so tight every single day, knowing that life is short and that our goal is to do good things and to be kind to each other. Mary Ann's husband, Ed, is here today. Her daughter, Amanda, couldn't make it, but this weekend we held a celebration of her life. Her birthday would have been last week, and her grandson ran around and charmed everyone and didn't break anything in the governor's mansion, which is a pretty good thing, though we're heavily insured. I was honored to be an inaugural recipient of this award in 2021, and today I'm honored to help present this award to a true education hero. The Mary Ann Miller Thrive Award is given to a Kentuckian who advances student wellness and focuses on that whole child-focused policy. Bridget Blome exemplifies that and more. Bridget has been an education leader for over 20 years, dedicated to improving the quality of life for Kentuckians through increased education outcomes and opportunities. And during her time at the Pritchard Committee, she has continued to fight for Kentucky schools. Under her leadership, the Pritchard Committee was awarded a $47 million grant from the United States Department of Education to go directly to Kentucky communities and schools. I'll clap for $47 million, Bridget. The funding that will be used to further improve education outcomes for our kids while they're in school and after high school graduation. And that's an important snapshot of the work Bridget has done on behalf of Kentucky schools. She is helping to nurture and to lead the next generation of Kentuckians as they learn and grow in our classrooms. And what Bridget knows, and I hope what you all know, is while our jobs are always important, and sometimes we think they're most important in those most difficult times, such as the natural disasters or pandemics that we've gone through, I'd argue that they are most important right now. With more jobs than ever before, with higher wages out there than ever before, the opportunity to change the lives of entire families and make intra-generational change. That is in front of us more at the moment and more achievable than ever before. What's waiting on the other side of the education of these students is more promising, meaning that extra kid that you help, just that one extra that might not have taken on that great job after graduation, got that certificate, gotten the 2-year degree, gotten the 4-year degree. Right now, their opportunity for success is greater than it has ever been. And you know, when you help make that happen just for that student, that changes the lives for their eventual kids and kids' kids and kids' kids' kids. What you all are doing right now can make such a difference in the next 10, 20, or 40 years. And that is exactly the type of future that Bridget has fought for. I'm proud today to be joined by my uncle to present you with the Mary Ann Miller Thrive Award.
Thank you all. This is really a special treat because it's named after Mary Ann. And I had the great pleasure to travel with Mary Ann for the CDC grant that she was behind at the Kentucky Department of Education and be part of that first group of Kentucky Board of Education members who were focusing in on I shouldn't say whole health, but on the school and health community work that was happening under that CDC grant. So it was a treat to travel with Mary Ann during those years, for us to sit and share stories of our families, of our kids, to maybe enjoy a cosmopolitan on the rooftop of a restaurant in Washington, D.C. together. But so to get this award in her name is really, really special for me. So Ed and Governor Beshear, thank you for your part in this as well. For our work at the Pritchard Committee, as the governor mentioned, the community schools work that we're doing, yes, it's a $47 million grant, and it gives us an opportunity to invest deeply in communities who are doing the work of bringing school and community together to realize better outcomes for young people and families. But it's bigger than that, because the community school work happened for the Pritchard Committee because we have been committing for the last 5 years to school community work as something we call Groundswell. And Groundswell is about 3 moms in a coffee shop to the entire Rotary Club choosing to do something in their community that makes a difference for families and students. So whether it's 3 moms in the coffee shop who decide they're going to work on kindergarten readiness, or it's the entire Rotary Club that's working on healthy lifestyles and transition into post-secondary education. That's what Groundswell is all about. And each of you can, and I would argue likely are part of that. As you think about the influence that you have in your community, the influence that you have with young people, and the influence that young people and the community can have in the lives of others. So I think each of you as physical education and health teachers, I think about my children when they were young, you all were their heroes because you were showing them what learning was like outside of the traditional classroom. You were showing them what lifelong learning is like, what thriving looks like. And I would encourage you to elevate that as much as you possibly can. Probably the year before I turned 50, maybe a couple years before I turned 50, my annual New Year's resolution was to begin to define my life outside of what I have the great fortune to do professionally. It took me quite a few years to figure out what that might look like. But in the last couple of years, I've taken up road cycling. I began to run, which I never did before. And I've realized all of these things are as important for my physical health long-term, for my health span in longevity, as they are for my cognitive functioning. And they are paramount for me then, both professionally and personally. And our young people need to see examples of that. They need to see examples of whole lives and adults living whole lives. And so that makes this award from you all even more important and more special as well. So with that, I hope that you'll all find ways to be part of building a groundswell for a big, bold future with us in Kentucky, with us at the Pritchard Committee. Thank you.
It's me again. How you doing? So we're shifting. Everybody take a deep breath. We in Kentucky lead the way with the Health Moves Mind National Fundraising Leaderboard. Health Moves Mind is a service learning project that gives our physical educators the ability to work with students. And in Kentucky, we have an event called Kindness of the Commonwealth. There's a slide about that in a moment, but it really gives our teams and our schools the ability to really fund their programs. And so we have 5, there's another one down here, so you can't see it, but we have 5 of the top 10 fundraising schools in the country. So we have Adair, so wherever you are, when I call out your school, we're going to wave at you, do the pageant wave. Adair County Primary Center, there we go. Stand up. You know, you got to stand up. We have Glenn Marshall Elementary, keep waving, don't sit down. We have Rich Pond Elementary, there we go. We have Simpson Elementary. And below the screen that you can't see, we have Highlands Middle School. So let's give it up for all those folks. If you have hosted a Health Moves Mind fundraiser, would you stand up for me? There we go. And we're just going to keep the love. Thank you so much. And we are super excited of our new partnership with Booster, which makes the Health Moves Mind process even easier. So, again, if you want more information, come find me, come find Angela, come find Steph. 10:15 tomorrow morning. There we go. Kindness Across the Commonwealth Week, November 11th through 15th. We are going to be spreading the love each day. We encourage all of you to take part. And heck, even if you're not from Kentucky, you can spread the love.